Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This is Abe from Genetics Don't Count. This is going to be a recap of last week's training, specifically my AMRAPs and Ruth's RPE 9 doubles of squat and bench, and her RPE 9 single of deadlift. I'm going to go over a couple of technical aspects today, do a little bit more informative type of video. Specifically, I'm going to go over what an RPE is and what an AMRAP is. So for those of you who don't know, an RPE stands for rate of perceived exertion. It's used oftentimes when physical activity is involved, just to kind of guesstimate and allow the athlete to explain how hard or easy a set was based off of how many additional reps they could have gotten. So an RPE 9 in this case means that Ruth could have gotten one more rep. So ideally she could have gotten 3 as a max, but 2 is what I asked for. An AMRAP is as many reps as possible during a set. So what you're about to see is 385 for 4 reps. That was all I could get. As many reps as possible until failure. I went for a 5th rep. Rendy had to come in, so I didn't count it. If you look at my chest, you can see that he did help me out a little bit. So 4 was what I got on this set. All in all, though, the weight felt really good. If I could change a couple of things about how this set went, I'd keep my knees out a little bit more, not let them cave in, and I would keep my chest up so I could drive my back through the bar. But still, got 4 reps, and I'm pretty happy about that. On to Ruth now. This was her RPE 9 double. At, again, RPE 9 meaning that she could go up 1 additional rep if she needed to. Reason I had her do this was just to kind of get a good baseline. She's competing in 10 weeks at the Summer Power Fest down in Houston, Texas, and I want her to feel like she's gotten stronger since the beginning of this program in January, and she has. These reps moved really good. I'm really proud of her for this, and this kind of set the tone for the rest of the week. Bench, this is 100 pounds, 45 kilos. Bench isn't the greatest right now for Ruth. She's definitely stronger. I want her to pause longer than she would need to in competition, just to confirm in the USAPL with any sort of judges that may give her an extended pause that she's going to be able to get it no matter what. So you'll see here 2 reps pretty easily with 100 pounds. After this, she jumped up a bit too much to 110 and she missed that set, so we just called it a day at 100 pounds, which is still not a bad weight. Still proud of her for that. And I was going to do my AMRAP after her set, so here's Anas giving me some words of encouragement, beating me on the side of my head with his reps. This is 265, going for as many reps as possible. I was really pumped about my performance on squats the day before, so I was really wanting to give my all, hopefully go for 10, because I mean 10 is just a good solid number, but unfortunately only got 4. Again, I went for a 5th one, but something surprising actually happened. And you'll see here in a second, I get stuck at the top of the rep, which is really weird because usually when I fail it's off my chest. So what that's telling me is generally I'm just not strong enough. So I'm gonna have to get better at that before my meet in August, and hopefully get a 5th rep on that on training days to come. On to deadlifts. So Ruth is actually the star of this video because her performance this week was magnificent. I'm not just saying that to blow smoke, but her deadlifts, well, her squat and bench too, but her deadlift specifically really moved well. But before we get into that, let's see me go for an AMRAP of 405. Now, my deadlifts have not been the best the past couple of weeks, and I think a lot of that was due to my stance change. I brought my sumo stance a lot closer than it was before. And so for the past couple of days, I was playing around with my old stance, which is a bit wider. Although my hip rotation and my external rotation in my knees needs to be better so that I'm stacking my body and that my knees are directly above my heels, or as close to it as I can get anatomically. These still felt fucking amazing. I feel like this AMRAP was super easy, and the only one of the limit, I don't want to get too cocky, but the limiting factor was just my muscles getting sore due to the lactic acid, because I got 11 reps. But 405 moved really good, so I'm really pumped about taking that confidence into training days to come. sometimes mental barriers really just hold us back, and sometimes we make things harder than they need to be. Now going back to Ruth, with her sumo deadlifts, they're usually really slow off the floor, but today, this week, she had the confidence, she pushed through it. She kept grinding until that bar moved up, and then as it moved up, it got easier. And that's gonna carry over tremendously into her meet, and I know she's gonna be pulling even more weight to come. But super proud of her 265 6-pound PR deadlift. But guys, that's the videos. If you like it, give it a like, share, comment, subscribe. See you in the next video.